M0FXP just got this ANYTONE 868. I'm going to update the firmware and put my CPS on it. So let's see how we get on with this. So we're on Bridgecom Systems. They've always got a good support page, and I've downloaded their firmware here. Just click it, and you get get the firmware there, and I extracted it to a file called ANYTONE 868. So let's go to that file somewhere. There we are. And what we'll do now is we've got the little folder here with everything in it. So now we'll run the CPS first. So there's the CPS there, or programming software. Run that. It's very quick. I've already got one on here, so it might say you've already got one, but we'll say it anyway. Desktop icon. Right, finish and launch. Probably already got one launched, but anyway, we'll use this one. So, first thing we're going to do is let's do the firmware first. So let's get the radio into firmware mode, which is hold down the PTT and the red button whilst turning on. So we'll turn it off. Hold down. It's the PTT, red button or top button, and then turn it on, and the LED should flash red, which is doing now. So then we go to firmware, somewhere here. Program tools. Let me find firmware. Okay, I had to pause and realize you've got to also download a file called QX Pro, which is, if you go on back to Bridgecom, it's just here, look, it says QX Code Pro firmware update. You don't need this with the 878, it's with the 868. So I've downloaded it, open the file, and you'll get this little window for to install that. So we'll do that. Create desktop. Finish and launch. Alright, unable to execute file. Alright, we'll keep trying. Right, so it's rebooting. And right, I'm just going to check to see if we have to, once you've done that, if we have to do anything. So let's check. Hold the red thing, use the PC cable to connect PC, open the file, comport, it's code plug, rebooting. After updating the firmware, you need to reset the radio, main control. Power off the radio first, then power it on while holding the PTT and the PF1 button below the PTT. So let's do it. So power off the radio firstly, and turning it on, holding the PTT and the button underneath. The radio will start up with a note on the display saying MCU reset. So just going to check you can see me doing it. Yeah, I think you can. Okay. Right, it's got me a message. Are you sure you want to initialize the radio? So we're going to go confirm. It says initializing radio. And you can set the time and date. Which I'll leave it as it is for now, and I'll change it later. And then you will have reloaded and saved the code. Now I can load my code. So right, the radio is updated, and we'll check that. We'll go menu. Do you know what? I use the 878, and you literally can't tell the difference. Device info. I haven't got my DMRA number in there yet. So yeah, 2.37. So right, that's us fully updated. So now we're going to get my code plug on there. Let's go find it. So click OK, exit this, so that's good. So now we'll go to my programming software, and we're going to load up my details. Let's just give it a minute. I'm just going to find the file to load up. The next one to export is click Tools, Export, then select Talk Groups, call the file Talk Groups. Yeah, Talk Groups called. Click Save, and then click Export, and that's now exporting all my talk group. Oh, that was quick. That went really quick. So yeah, thanks for that. And then right now let's do our digital contact list. Go Tool, Export, Contact List. We'll call it Contact List. Contact LIST. And then we will save, then export, and then export complete. That was quick. Right, and to import these, I go Tools on the 868 CPS, Import, then I go to Channels, and then I've got to find that file that I called Channels on the 868. Okay, and then I click Import. Oh yeah, I can see it coming in now. So that's what you do if your code plug isn't compatible. You're importing basically your channels, your zone, your talk groups, your digital contact list, and you're bringing it all in basically manually. And that's what I'm doing. Import complete. Okay. Yeah, and so as you can see, all the channels have worked, and now what we're going to do, we're going to go Tools, Import, this time select Talk Groups, find the file that I called Talk Group, and then we're going to click Import. So that's bringing everything in from my non-compatible code plug from my 878, so that I can use it on my 868. Seems to be working good, so that's good. Import complete. Okay, so now we're going to go to import our digital contact list. Let's find that. There it is. Contact list. Import. And it's working good. Going good. So make sure you go to radio ID list, get your call sign in, get your DMR number in. That's important. And then we're going to let's save all this before we lose it all. We'll save it to the 868 file, and we'll call it new 868. That's what we'll call it for now. We'll go save before we lose it all. Okay. Okay, so we've got all that into the code plug for the 868. Now we're going to go File, Write to Radio, click OK. And this time we're going to include digital contacts. Normally you wouldn't because it takes ages, but we're going to include it this time. We're going to click OK. It says here, zone is empty, can't be written. Okay, what am I doing wrong? So let me just stand by. Right, so we just remembered to get our zones in there. So now we're going to write it to the radio. So we go Program, Write to Radio. We know we're on COM5. Click OK, Digital Contacts and Other Data. And that should start writing the whole lot to the radio. And the radio, as you can see, is flashing away, saying PC write. Let's just make sure you can see that, actually. There you go. That's in view. Right. So, yeah, it's writing away, doing well. Yeah, it's all in there. So let me just do some more on video. So at the moment, it's definitely recording. So what we got to do now is just tell it what to do when it boots up. So what we're going to do is go to, where's that section gone? The other menu section. Go to optional settings, and on the boot up, we want it to do certain things. So it says welcome ANYTONE at the moment. We're going to add a photograph eventually. So I'm going to put on now custom picture, which I haven't put on yet. It says here welcome ANYTONE. On the power display, I'm going to put welcome Andreas. Right, okay. God, I was a bit long-winded doing this. But the real reason I'm on this page is because I want it to boot up to Talk Group 91. Back to you. So we've gone to optional settings and we've selected custom picture, and we'll upload that picture in a bit. And we've got welcome M0FXB, but we've told it on the A band to go to my hotspot, Talk Group 91, and on the B band we've told it to go to my all-star nodes. Right, we're going to put in some shortcuts for our keys now. So we've selected key function. So PF1, PF2, PF3. And we're going to change all these so that the programmable buttons, which includes the red button on top, and then the buttons to the left, you know, let's have a look now. We got the top button is number 1, I think, PF1, then it's 2 and 3. But you know what? Don't take me for that. I need to check myself. But anyway, you get the idea. We're telling the programmable buttons. You've got 2 on the front, P1 and P2. So that makes sense. And then you've got P3. So, yeah, I'm starting to remember now. You got P1, P2 as marked, and then the red button is P3. So we're going to do that.